IMS show at MCC. And Diesel, we've been at IMS shows. This is a completely different format than we've seen from IMS in the past. They used to travel the country at massive venues and stadiums and stuff like that. Now they're doing smaller, more specific things, but they're doing a lot here today where they're introducing several different motorcycles. We're almost up on the noon hour when they're going to start introducing some new motorcycles. But tell us a little bit about MCC Motorcycle Center, what they have going on here, and what's happening today.
Kenny, I love MCC. They started out in a little garage down the street. They used to have to carry the bikes up and down, if you remember that.
Yeah, so, service was in the basement.
Oh yeah. This is just great. You know, they're the oldest Triumph dealer in the area, and obviously Ducati when Johnny brought things in. But, you know, more about the IMS show. For years and years, that was kind of the start of the motorcycle season in February.
Yeah.
People come out in the rain and the snow to see what was new. Then with the pandemic, you know, they moved some things out. We did some things with Moto America in the past.
Yep.
And it's good that Johnny and his people have brought this back.
Yeah.
You know, get the vendors out, get the people out. Just kind of start spring in the motorcycle season.
Well, and we saw them do it out west. So we saw, you know, the LA show, and they have some shows in nice weather. I haven't seen any yet that are in the Northern Hemisphere. So it's good to have them back. So at 11 o'clock here this morning, which was almost an hour ago, they introduced the brand new Ducatis, the new Ducati MX450 and the Lamborghini Panigale, along with the local dealer rep. And those are two motorcycles that are pretty stinking slick. But the new Panigale V4, if you happen to have a Lamborghini, which I don't quite yet, but it's on the list. If you have a Lamborghini, you can actually order a Ducati V4 to match your Lamborghini with 100% authentic Lamborghini colors, and it's mostly carbon and has the 63, all that cool stuff on it. But they also introduced that MX450, and the MX450 is Ducati's new Supercross 450 bike, and you know, we'll get into some of that here in a little bit. It's super loud, so we're going to probably limit what we're doing here today in regards to news and everything else. But
Kenny, I say we start all the bikes.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, yeah, exactly. Let's start them all. Let's get them going. If you happen to be in the Chicago area, this is going until 5 o'clock today, and it started at 10 a.m. this morning, going to 5 o'clock today. And this is at MCC Motorcycle Center in Villa Park, Illinois. It's right off 294, St. Charles Road, 88. 355 is on the other side of us. They've got Ducati, Royal Enfield, Triumph, Vespa, BMW, Husqvarna, KTM, and MV Agusta. So if you're looking for a motorcycle between MCC and Chicago Motorcycle Works, between those two dealerships, you're going to find what you're looking for.
Absolutely.
And we're talking about some of the best motorcycles, not only on the road, but also in the dirt.
What's your favorite today, Kenny?
You know, that Ducati 450 was pretty stinking cool. I've sort of become a Triumph person.
It's hard to beat those vintage bikes.
I look stupid on them because they're all kind of smaller in frame, and I'm not.
Right.
You know, maybe 100 pounds ago,
when you were 12.
When I was, you know, let's call it 28. Let's call it 28, not 58. But when I was 28, you know, but still, so a friend of a friend had a Triumph triple, the street triple. And he said, you know, hey, you should ride this up to the, you know, I need to put some miles on it. You should ride it up to the track.
Those are good friends to have.
Yeah, you should do some track days on it. I was like, well, I'm not going to do track days on it, but I'll take it to the track.
Sure.
And I fell in love with it. I honestly didn't want to give it back. And I kept telling myself my next motorcycle, whatever, you know, whenever that is going to probably be a Triumph, and probably more specifically that 765 RS, which is pretty stinking sweet.
So Angie, if you're out there listening, her new bike's going to line up in the garage.
Yeah, that's probably not good. Yeah, she's not the one that's going to buy it, I'll tell you that. or put the stamp of approval on it. But yeah, so the Ducati release already happened. We already introduced the Ducati and the Ducati Lamborghini Panigale and the MX450. Coming up here in about 15 minutes, they're gonna do the Royal Enfield, which is gonna be that classic 650, and the off-road Himalayan. And then at 1 o'clock, they're going to do the Triumph TF 250. That's the Supercross 250 bike. And so that's coming up at 1 o'clock. Piaggio is going to release at 2 p.m. They're going to release the new Vespa, the Moto Guzzi V85 TT, and the wind tunnel. And then they also have the Aprilia RS 457. We've seen the RS 660 in the past, but they have new colors for this year. And then the new Aprilia is the RSV 4R, which is their big super bike. So that's coming up at 2 o'clock. And then BMW is at 3, Husqvarna KTM at 4. And then that gets us back to the 5 o'clock hour. So if you're anywhere in the Chicago area, get out here to MCC today. Again, we're doing a live broadcast. There are a ton of different vendors here. This place is full. I think they said they had somewhere north of 500 people RSVP. Right. So the parking lot is packed. There's literally people walking down the street from the supermarket. So get out here. There's a ton of energy. Everything's on sale. And get out here to MCC in Villa Park.
You know, Kenny, they also sponsor the Vintage Show up here every year.
Yeah, right. Yep.
It's also a good time. They take them to pack them in. They're making the best use of the space for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of people here from Arma. The local Ducati clubs are here. If you're a Ducati owner, there's 2 local Ducati clubs. They're all here.
I think I saw the BMW guys also.
Yeah, the BMW club is here. Yep, they have a local chapter. The other thing that a lot of people may not know is if you look at the racing at Moto America, Chicago Cycle Works, which is the sister company, the sister dealership to MCC, they run the Orange Cat Racing BMW team, which is the factory BMW Superbike team this year. They have Sean Dillon Kelly / SDK back from Europe riding on the BMW Superbike, and they have Jason Uribe, who just missed out on winning a Superstock championship last year. But Andrew Lee, who we know well, he's been on our shows before. Andrew Lee actually won the Superstock championship again last year. That was his 3rd Superstock 1000 national championship, and he did it on the Orange Cat BMW from Chicago Cycle Works. So these guys are well tied into not only the industry and their dealers, they're tied into the racing and performance side of things. They have a massive shop in the back where they do a ton of performance work. So if you're in the area and you're within a few hours, number one, you can get here today. But if you can't get here today, make sure that you put this as a destination on your list to get here and have these guys handle the performance work on your Ducati, BMW, KTM, MV Agusta, and of course we know the Royal Enfield. They do the BTR, the build, train, race. With
I think our friend Chloe was doing that for a while, wasn't she?
Chloe was doing it for a little bit. Absolutely. So they can help you with all those performance parts. And then not to mention they can get you dialed in on the best suits and boots, helmets, gloves, all that good stuff. So we are at Villa Park at MCC. This is Motorcycle Center. Their history is thick. This is actually, we were told, the oldest Triumph dealer east of the Mississippi River, which you think about that and it's like, really? Like it wasn't like Atlanta or Boston or something like that.
We talked with Johnny a bit about that when Bison was out doing a fitting about a month ago out here.
Yeah. So when you step into MCC, you're literally stepping into history here. They've got all those photos on the walls, some cool stuff. And Johnny does a really, really good job of maintaining all of that.
Absolutely. You know, we'll look around a little bit. The shop itself is just beautiful.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna wrap up here for a few minutes. We're gonna get ready to go here again. About 10 minutes. They are gonna introduce the new Royal Enfield Classic 650. So we'll go live with some of that with that introduction, and we'll do a little walk around those bikes. And so make sure you hang out with us here. We appreciate you watching Exhaust Noise on Cycle Vision Network. Thanks, everybody.
All right, Logan, you gonna take us out?